Ahoy everyone, welcome back. As you can see by the sticks of lumber sticking out of the boat, I got some more wood today, so I was able to luck into some cash so I could continue the boat project. It's been a little tough here lately, but there is a light at the end of the tunnel. I just wanted to say thanks if you're still here and you've been with me. So anyways, probably a good question is what's all these 1x6s doing in the boat, or these particular pieces of lumber? And that is, they are going to be ripped into 1x2s, which not nominal but real 2 inches. They're going to be ripped into 1x2s, and they're going to be laminated together to make the deck, or at least to start making the deck. Believe it or not, but these 6 pieces of clear pine 1x6 cost me $100, so that's as far as $100 goes, right there. So the good news is they'll be able to get more than one length out of them, and these are 8-foot lengths. So hopefully they'll go a good little ways. At least one can only hope. But that's what I'm going to start doing. I'm going to actually start, going over the table saw, and I'm going to start ripping them in parts to 2 inches. And that's kind of what's going on with that. Sorry, like I said, it took so long getting back to you guys, because it's just been kind of rough with the money situation, and then having the girls down here, my older 2 down here, that really puts a financial strain on us. Not that I wouldn't, of course I would endure it, they're my kids, but it just is what it is. But hopefully we can kind of pick back up. I've also had a little side project that I will be talking to you guys about at a later date. Something that I think you're going to probably agree with me is that it's pretty cool. Well, at least I would hope you would agree with me. So, but anyways, that's where we are. So I'm probably going to go ahead and get started on ripping these into 2-inch widths, and hopefully I'll be able to do it. Anyways, my neck and shoulder, my left side of my neck and shoulder are killing me today, so we'll see how far I get. But that's what I'm going to try to do. Well, welcome to the next day. The next few days. A buddy of mine came into town. He's attending a military class at Fort Leonard Wood, and he's going to be here for a few weeks. So he stopped by the shop, and we did maybe a little bit on the boat, but I didn't turn the camera on, so sorry for that. But anyways, as you can kind of see, I went ahead and I ripped those pieces of pine into these 2-inch wide beams that are going to be used as the deck beams. I also, for some of the scrap, because they were 1x6s, so I had a lot of scrap left over, I went ahead and laminated a few of those pieces of scrap together so they can give me another 2-inch wide beam. These need to be cleaned up and ripped again because they're not quite 2 inches. Obviously they're like 2.5 or 2 1/4. And but that's not a problem. That's that's just giving me more material to work with. So what I'm going to do with that is I'm going to put it in these nice little channels that I cut yesterday, and I'm going to take you over to see them here in just a minute, as we're on our way. From starting with the locker here, this isn't cut, this is just where the beams are going to end, the deck beams, and cutting right here, notching the frames down to receive the 2-inch thick, if you will, because they're going to be on the edge, beams all along the shear, all the way up to the bow. So that's what I did yesterday with my bud that came down here, and we didn't do a whole lot, but we did get that done, so I could start today. And and I also laminated the smaller sticks over there. But today, my anticipation was to go ahead and start putting the beams in. Now, if you can kind of see, there's this little protrusion here. Not a big deal, because what I'm going to do is I'm notching the end of this beam up here to fit into to receive this, and then obviously follow back. So that's kind of where we're at. I had to come up here and clean that up a little bit with a chisel, and no problem. The epoxy did exactly what it was supposed to do. So we're going to follow that all the way back, if I can show you, all the way back to the transom. So that's where we sit right now, guys. So I'm going to go ahead and finish marking this forward beam and cutting it, and kind of just getting it kind of dummied in place with clamps. And I'll show you what we look like after that. Alright, so now you can plainly see I went ahead and obviously notched that forward end, and it fits pretty good. It fits, well, good enough anyway. And now I've got the other piece of pine now, or the piece that was obviously notched for this part of the bow, training, which means I don't have any epoxy on it. I just for fit and to kind of get the wood used to bending this way, I have clamps on it. And I think that that'll work out rather well for now. And I'm going to do that for the most part all the way down. And then what I have envisioned today is to get this part of the deck epoxied onto the shear, and then I'll work on epoxying the last scrap pieces to form a beam over there like those other ones. And I'll probably sand and fair the ones that I epoxied down as well. So that's kind of what's on tap for today, at least as far as boat work goes. But I can tell you, it's really good to start working on the boat again. I've missed it. So that's where we're at, and I'll catch you back up when I've got more to talk about and more to show you. Well, hey everybody. Now you can kind of see what I did. I went ahead and epoxied right up to about a little aft midships. And the reason I did that is simply because I was out of clamps. Yeah, so the whole boat building axiom is true. There really is never enough clamps, especially for what you want to do. But this forward bit is on, so that's good. And I've got this little bit to go, and then I'm going to cut a piece to fit back here because it's not quite 8 feet. And we should be just fine. I think we'll be okay. So that's good. That's interesting. And like I said, I went ahead and did the other piece of beam, deck beam, that's going to go on, which is right here, and that's drying right now. So when this is done, I will start fairing out all of them so that they can be all pretty and ready to go, and I can just go ahead and install them. But that's kind of where we sit. And like I said, I'm, for the most part, I'm just kind of tickled with the way that went, especially with it just being me. So that's where we stand. Pretty exciting stuff, right? And yeah, so that's going to be about all for this one. And when you guys, or when I come back out to do a little bit more, I will bring y'all with me. I will see you then.